In this video, we'll be creating the feature symbologies used by the node feature definitions. So I'll start by referring to the spreadsheet. I'm going to need to create these point symbologies, these solid symbologies, and then these linear symbologies. I'm going to start with the linear symbologies for the connection region. So under the linear feature symbologies, I'm going to be creating a folder to store these. And then I'm going to also create the connection regions folder. So going underneath linear, we're going to start by right-clicking, and I'm going to create a new category. And I'm going to call this Stormwater Z. Within that folder, I'm going to create another one called Connection Regions. And then this is where I'm going to start creating the connection regions. Right, so this is where I'm going to assign my default element template. And I'll see that I don't actually have these created yet. So this is an example when you might need to go revisit your element templates and add in that folder structure there. So real quickly, I'm going to do that. And then you may also find that you need to create additional levels for these new element templates. I like to put my connection regions on a different color than my plan cells are going to look for, like inlets, manholes, or head walls. And that helps me easily identify what is part of the cell versus what is that connection region. So now I'll go and assign the level to all of these element templates. And then at this point, you may choose to have overrides where you have, inlets could be a different color or manholes can be a different color. But for me, I'm going to keep them all by level. And then one last thing, I'm going to select all of these connection region element templates, and then I want to go in and add a transparent or a class. These are all going to be on a construction class. And then I'm going to create copies of this to create all of my connection region symbologies, and then assign the correct element template. Right, next I'm going to move into my point feature symbology. So I need to refer back to the spreadsheet, and for the point feature symbology, I'm going to have a folder path under point, then it's going to be stormwater node, and then my inlets. So I'll start building out that folder structure, and then in my first folder, I'm going to right-click and create a new feature symbology. Then I'll rename that feature symbology, and I'm going to be assigning a default element template, which is going to be my plan element template. And then I'm also going to be setting a profile element template. When I set the profile element template, I'm going to make sure that I'm in the correct folder. So I have a separate profile element template for my type B inlets versus the type C and D. If I go down into the head walls, same thing for like flared ends, RCP. Now, if I were to compare these element templates here, I'll see that they're actually the same. So I don't have to have those duplicated. I could have just one element template right under head walls to use for all of the head wall profile element templates, and that would be less assigning throughout these symbologies. And then also less element templates to keep up with. The only reason I would suggest doing it this way is if you either want to have it on a different level for the different types, or in the future you might leave it open to be able to assign different cells if that is supported. And then from here I'm going to copy this symbology out and then change the default and profile element template as I need to. Alright, so from the spreadsheet, I have created all of my folder structure as well as the point feature symbologies for cross sections, all of my existing features, all of the head walls, the inlets, the manholes, and the outfalls. Now it's a good idea once you get all of this information in, go into each folder and just do a spot check. Make sure you're pulling the correct element templates. And that's a good way to catch if you made any mistakes.